Now that looks like a wonderful tiger snack. Miss Nova tuning in live from her free-roaming habitat during our second day of the Fill the Freezer Fundraiser. Hello and welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Man, oh man. Halfway through the week. Time is just flying these days. But nonetheless, happy to have all of you with us today. Happy to be celebrating the second day of our Fill the Freezer Fundraiser, where you are helping out with perhaps one of the most important aspects of living wild at heart, and that is supplying a wholesome and reliable diet for our 150 plus rescues. And surely you've been seeing a lot of Facebook posts angled or maybe, dripping with our Feed a Feline promotions. And very simply, it is just such an important thing. Food, that is such an important thing here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. For a variety of reasons, and we're looking forward to talking to you about that today on this live post, and also showing off the variety of ways our rescues consume that wholesome and nutritious diet. So welcome and hello, everyone. I love to see my comments working right off the bat. A good morning to you, Lisa Wallstrom. Fill the freezer, says Kirsten. Give noon to her chicken. You bet. We're going to be filming some servals later today, Kirsten, and highlighting them. Good morning from Elisa Wallstrom, and a good morning from Ellen Simmons. How's it going, you two? Tiger versus lion. Who would win? That's a good question, Owasi. And, at the Wildcat Sanctuary, we would never pit against any of our two wildcats to see who would win. But I think that overall, tigers are just going to be a larger animal than lions. And just to give a little bit of a context for just the size difference between the two. But certainly an interesting thought. Lee Sandifer saying, hey, Judson and Team TBUS, love seeing Nova. Enjoying life, don't we all? And I think we're going to be seeing Miss Nova. Nasha is going to be receiving kind of the same exact thing. She has a little hanging beef piece, just like Nova here. And then we're going to be, last but not least, seeing Thor Jr. puzzling out some food from a puzzle feeder. So it's going to be a full day. Miss Nova here is enjoying her meal. I'm going to be kicking over to Nasha here in a moment. But let's get some hellos in here. And that's right, Hinyata talking about Miss Nunda. And, you say she's so shy. I wouldn't classify Nunda as shy. I think she's one of those cats who's very purposeful. I think that Nunda knows what she wants, when she wants. She knows that it's cuddle puddle time now, or that it's, maybe strutting my stuff down the cat runway now, or what have you. So I wouldn't classify Nunda as, a shy cat. I think she's just particular. Marilyn Grant saying hi to myself and Nova. Well, thank you for that, Marilyn. Sue Sears asking about a calendar this year, our TWS calendar being an annual installment. And Sue, I know that we surely expect to have a 2026 calendar. And certainly as I'm looking at two young, spry interns next to me, that perhaps we'll be adding that calendar to our development status next week so we can get a move on that and making sure that we are ready for the new year. But speaking of getting a move on, I'm going to head over to Nasha and see if that pretty gal is enjoying her hanging piece of beef. Hopefully I'm not running behind here. Good morning, Kelly House. Glad to have you with us, and happy Fill the Freezer. Saying Judson and TWS family and Ms. Nova. Ms. with two Z's. I like that. Pat Hamilton, good morning, Pat. Glad to have you with us. Really, another rock star early fall day here in northern Minnesota as well. It is, kind of teasing with that 70-degree mark, getting down into the mid to low 50s at night. And really those kind of high temperatures during the day, cool temps at night. Not only pleasant weather for us humans, but great cat weather too. So I see that Miss Nasha was just given access, and it looks like she is hustling her lion buns over to her hanging beef piece here. Torben, thank you for those 200 stars. Look at that. And of course, there is just a variety of ways that you can support our Fill the Freezer fundraiser. Lending some stars like that, Torben, certainly makes an impact. So thank you. Carrie Miller waving to the young and spry interns. That'd be Elizabeth on one side of me, JJ on the other. Of course, don't forget Kickbutt Gretchen, who's helping out and running some errands in town, getting Subway for somebody Tammy's hosting on site. Nice job, Nasha, kind of yanking away her hanging beef piece there. And, well, Nasha's enjoyed things like puzzle feeders. Of course, she has one of our food chutes attached to her indoor bedroom. And I think Nasha's, really one of those cats who, after coming to Sanctuary, really kind of saw the wild at heart life that was laying in front of her. I think that as we got to introduce you to Nasha, one of the things that we highlighted is just how social of a girl she is. She loves her humans, albeit she might not be a huge socialite with other cats. She loves her food. Nasha did pluck that piece of food down, and she's saying, oh, wow, well, maybe there's more to come. And oftentimes when caretakers do hanging enrichment like this, they will give the cat half of their diet through more traditional means like the food chute, and then place the other half outside. And Nasha, I think she's one of those cats, there's a handful of them here, that if we were to give them access to our freezer and just look the other way, that I think Nasha would probably eat us out of house and home. I think Nasha's one of those cats. I think Benny the Bengal is one of those cats. I mean, and as you say, and as many of you with animals at home, food makes the world go round. I have been trying to get my cat on the electric feeder regiment, and it has been a trying one. But who could blame Nasha for looking at her kick-butt team of caretakers and saying, hey, any more beef pieces hidden in those cargo pants pockets? But thank you, guys, and we're going to head over to Thor right now, so I appreciate Jill giving her access. All righty. JJ and Elizabeth, you two doing all right? Happy to be here. How has the Fill the Freezer fundraiser been going for you? What types of things have you been noticing or learning or observing as we kind of talk about and unfurl this Fill the Freezer fundraiser?
Definitely very interesting. The mass levels that they have to prep in the morning.
The quantities. How? Give me a number. How much food is being prepped a day for our rescues?
I think over about 400 pounds.
Exactly. That's I don't know about you. That's basically about all of our weights combined here would be close to 400 pounds. So that's a large amount. It's always nice to give scale to something like that. A lion song happening here in the background. Thor's got half a chicken hanging on the inside of the barrel. Sometimes it's going to be, kind of resting inside the barrel, and the caretakers did a fun little something, and Thor has part of his barrel kind of fixed on the spindle. I think we saw something like this. Who were we doing just yesterday? JJ, why am I having a total brain fart? Daisy. I think we saw a similar technique like this with Daisy. So look at that, about 82 of you watching today. Maria Crippen saying, intern Anna citing for the win. Great to hear it, Maria, and thank you for cheering on Miss Anna. She's one of our more than a handful of kick-butt interns who serve the cats every single day, talking about that food prep that's happening, that 400 pounds that's prepped every day. It's people like Anna who are punching their alarm at that, that 5:30 to 6 a.m. window, and are coming into the sanctuary and prepping out that food for our rescues every single day. So there's just so many things to acknowledge about what the interns do, and even kind of rolling them in and thinking about how they play a role in something like our Fill the Freezer fundraiser, where they are going into our freezer. They are grabbing that food that they're prepping the next day for it to thaw in our large walk-in refrigerator the day before it's actually going to be fed out. So you name it. We love you cheering them on, and I think the caretaking team and animal care interns should receive a particularly loud cheer when we think about food, because they are the delivery service of all food here. They are TWS's DoorDash or Uber Eats, what have you, and boy oh boy, the cats so appreciate it. About 89 of you watching right now. I'm so happy to have all of you along with us. I'm sure many of you know by now, but we are in the throes of a fundraiser. Here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, it's a very special thing. As a certified 501c3 nonprofit, we rely on the support of you to help make a difference for the cats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And right now, we are driving to help raise $30,000 to fill the freezer. It's a large number, but at the end of the day, it adds up, thinking that we have 150 plus cats, that we have a variety of diets that we're feeding our rescues, from chicken, beef, wild game options, that the food that we feed out our cats, that we are purchasing it from suppliers, oftentimes making sure that the food isn't even animal grade, but is human grade. I'm sure maybe you remember, as Tammy kind of describing, some of the changes that we had to make when bird flu was a little bit more prevalent in some of these animal grade food suppliers, that we had to make a change and actually adjust who we were purchasing our food from to have a human grade supply of beef. And as you'd imagine, that cost increases to ensure that we're getting the quality that our residents require. So there's just all these different ways that you can kind of slice it and understand that $30,000, that's a big number, but start to look at it at scale, start to understand we have 150 plus cats here, start to understand that one of the reasons you support us is because we're going to take that level of detail and specialization for each one of our cats when it comes to their diet. So it's certainly something that's important, and something that we know you understand as a follower of the Wildcat Sanctuary, and just as an animal lover and animal owner, is how food makes the world go around for the animals that we love, and just how important it is for our rescues here. And just look at that brilliant blue sky. As I mentioned, it is just a gorgeous day. Laughing at you, Henyata, saying, looks like you're avoiding some phone calls to stay tuned into the live. Now that's dedication. Marcy Sanborn coming in with a Alice in Wonderland little cut here. I'm late for a very important TWS date. Boy, do I need a puzzle feeder installed at my house. Marcy, I hear that. I made the joke that I need to keep a crossword puzzle magnetized to my freezer or refrigerator front, so I have to do the crossword before I can open up the freezer. But anyways, I'll continue with your comment. Boy, do I need a puzzle feeder installed at my house, size for me and my domestic Aslan will eat and hoover all of the food. Such is life. That's how I feel too. We're lucky that one of the things that you guys help us with is ensuring that we have all types of snacks to munch on during the day. And Marcy and me, all right, looks like we're back now. And we're going to come back and hang out with Miss Nasha here. All right, a little bump in the road, but we're back, everybody. Sorry about that. That's nothing we're not used to, Miss Nasha. Much better, everyone. Hello, come on back, everybody. Sorry about that. A little funky internet coming around the bend there, but we still got a little more live to go here. Brittany Craig's asking, how the banding cats? Well, we are hanging out with one right now, as a matter of fact, Brittany. This is Miss Nasha here. Got to see Nasha a little bit earlier on in the live, enjoying a beef piece that was hanging up for her. And Miss Nasha, she has quickly become a sanctuary favorite for not only, I think she has some unique characteristics. Nasha can be very opinionated about other cats sometimes. I think also Nasha has, quickly shown us that there's little flashes and glimpses of some of our other kind of TWS legacy rescues. I see a lot of Shanti Diva whenever I spend time with this gal. And so all in all, Miss Nasha is doing well. That's thanks to the people watching this post, thanks to, kind of the fellow viewers and supporters of the Wildcat Sanctuary for lifting Miss Nasha up as she sets out on her new life at Sanctuary, Minnesota. And thank you, too, for following her journey here to Sanctuary. And it's always worth a reminder, I know that, through kind of the just the busy, kinetic and crazy, rescue is, to never forget about Nasha, and to know that all of those Oregon cats and every single one of our rescues here, this is their forever home, and that Nasha is going to be living out a wild at heart life here at Sanctuary. She's never going to be sold off or traded or anything like that. And so that's the wonderful thing, is that I'm glad you're keeping plugged in with Nasha, and here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, she's here for life, and we're ready to give her that lifelong care, and we hope that you're going to be along for the ride. Jeremy saying hi, Judson. Hey, Jeremy. Nasha looking good with a thumbs up emoji from Ellen. Well, thank you, Ellen. And Miss Nasha, I think she's got a great pace to her days. She is certainly a fan of food, so mealtime is certainly going to be a highlight. Nasha does a good time about kind of using her habitat. She's a big fan of getting up on her platform to view her space. She's good about using her indoor bedroom. Nasha likes getting in the shade and taking advantage of some of the tall bushes and trees in her space. But Miss Nasha, so wonderful to see you. What's the plan for this rat pack over here next? And I'm also going to interject, Anna, there was a special shout out for you. Someone got excited in the comments. Exactly. So, we always like to make sure that the, moms, dads, parents know that not only is their child safe and well, but they're kicking butt too alongside everyone here. So thank you for that. What is next today?
We gotta clean these guys.
Cleaning. Okay. Well, far be it from me to hold up the show. I appreciate you guys placing some food for them, but any other exciting news happening in your zone without giving too much detail? Did anything happen yesterday, Miss Alyssa? Some new cats showing up, new faces, not new to the sanctuary, but new to your zone?
Yes, we did move some cats. Are we freely talking who moved over?
Not yet, not just yet, but there were some cat moves yesterday. Sometimes Tammy's, is a little bit less watertight than I am, but I still like alluding a little bit. But you had a busy day, and you guys are kind of adjusting to some new cats in your zone, so I'm sure that's a part of your daily to-dos as well. Absolutely. All right, everyone. We're going to go onward and forward. I'm really good at making the interns blush, and perhaps myself even. Nasha getting excited about her UTV that's pulling up. Like I said, Nasha made a quick and intentional jump into her wild at heart life and kind of understanding all the different facets of it. What a UTV is, who her caretakers are, where that delicious food comes from. And just looking at a cat like Nasha, looking at a cat like Thor Jr., who's walking up now. Mr. Thor, if we were to help cover the cost of your diet for 1 month, just one big cat, it would be $140. And actually, just kind of going back and looking at Facebook from yesterday, we were able to raise $140 on yesterday's Facebook post, helping to feed one big cat. So there's a way to visualize, just how you're making a difference for our rescues. And maybe you're watching this post now and you would like to give towards a $140 goal of feeding any one of these big cats that we've seen on this live for a month. Maybe you're watching later and you see that, hey, they're halfway to that goal. Let's get them up to 140. That would be greatly appreciated, because as you've heard me talking about probably for the last 25 minutes, it is all things Fill the Freezer this week, and we appreciate you guys helping support that. And tomorrow will be Mango's surgery, which I'm sure many of you are aware of by now. We were able to share via our e-newsletter. I'm going to go this way, Thor. We're able to share via our e-newsletter, as well as an educational reel from Dr. Camper, kind of talking about what we had discovered on Mango, that she originally had that hernia surgery, but it looks like she's developed another hernia. And so Miss Mango will be going in for her surgery tomorrow. Tammy will be bringing everybody along for that exam, and we hope to have your thoughts with Mango tomorrow. I couldn't see Thor Jr., but all I heard were the rasps of his tongue licking a ball there. He says, getting a little extra juice. Ooh, Marcy, getting excited. Your mother received her Uproar magazine. That's wonderful to hear. I'm looking behind me to see if I see Mr. Bentley at all. But unfortunately not. Looks like Mr. Thor licking. And part of that new move that I alluded to is right over across the way. So even I'm a little limited. But hey, I think we've had a pretty solid live post, everyone. A little bit of a blip halfway through with the Wi-Fi, but I think we were able to come out on top of it, Mr. Thor Jr. I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing any comments and questions from the team. Thank you, Kirsten, for thinking about Miss Mango tomorrow. Oh, and Marcy, I should have read your comment in full, that you made a donation in honor of your mother's birthday this spring. Thank you, Marcy. You two rock, and that's a very thoughtful thing, and a happy early birthday to your mother. Leanne saying, love Nasha. Makes me so happy to see her in a beautiful habitat. Isn't that right, Leanne? And just thinking about it, unfortunately, we weren't able to document at that time the space that Nasha was in, and man, it was pathetic. Doesn't even begin to describe it. It's absolutely tragic. So how good it does feel to see her enjoying the space that she's in, the diet, the enrichment, the community from her caretaking team. Well, look at that.
To bring Louie out for us.
Wonderful, wonderful, everyone. Well, cool. I think we've had a fun little live post today, and I appreciate everyone tuning in halfway through the week here on Hump Day. Our Fill the Freezer, too many F's for Judson apparently. Our Fill the Freezer fundraiser is well underway, and you have until September 30th to help make a difference and get that freezer as full as possible before winter comes. Stay tuned tomorrow, as I mentioned, for a big day for Mango, where we're hoping to have a lot of your kind of love and support and positive thoughts going her way, and surely receiving those updates from Tammy, as we all are wanting the best for Mango as she goes into a day like tomorrow. And then just moving into the weekend. So, hey, we'll keep our Fill the Freezer energy flowing strong. And I want to thank everyone for tuning into today's live post. We got to hang out with Nova. We got to hang out with Thor Jr. here. And then, of course, Nasha, who we've been talking about. So I appreciate everyone coming along for the ride. But for now, have an excellent